Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to XPlicit Materia, a podcast where a nerdy drummer talks to his friends, old and new. And that is a different introduction than my introductions before because I haven't had a podcast in like 2.5 months because of personal reasons I don't want to get into here. Personal reasons.
It's a secret. It's adulting.
Adulting. It's adulting. And today, my guest is FinalHarps, a Twitch streamer who streams Apex Legends currently. And he also has a show called The Final Hour, which I was invited on a couple months ago. And I thought it would only be appropriate to invite him back onto my show and start off XPlicit Materia yet again with FinalHarps. Here he is. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I am okay, kind sir. This started out a little later than usual because I had to do adulting.
Adulting. That's going to be the word of the day, by the way.
It is the word of the day already. I like it. But myself, I am FinalHarps. I am either hyper crazy or I'm just like zone, like, hi. When I am streaming, it just depends on how you get me. There is no in between. There is just either extreme this or extreme that. But I
love it.
I have done OC cosplay content with my wife on TikTok, and I just do a lot of Apex now, and I have a lot of fun. I've run a show called The Final Hour, and Wisedrums was on the show. It was pretty epic if you missed it. I don't know if I posted that on YouTube. I think that's when I started like falling off. It wasn't your fault. It was just have you ever had mental problems or mental breakdowns? I mean, I think it's just a normal adulting type thing. When you turn into adult, you have mental breakdowns sometimes. Well,
I think it's when, with creative people, if you've got a creative mind, it races. And when you have to be a responsible adult, it forces you to slow that mind down. And I think that's where, am I getting somewhere?
Oh, no, you're perfect. I'll be at work and I'll think I'm going to make this video when I get home. I watch the show with my son. And I go, and I just realized her shirt's fucking matching the weird.
I know. I just said
like, what
I just saw that. We did not coordinate this, everybody.
No,
we're just giant nerds.
No. It was my last clean shirt, too. That's ironic. While I look at my laundry, like, fuck, I gotta do laundry. It's like lazy up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, we're both wearing Legend of Zelda shirts for those who are listening to this on the audio only. Yeah.
Yours is the original, though. Yours is
the
original.
OG. The OG.
Yes. Jeez. Man, how'd you like that one, though? How'd you like that one?
Okay, so I have a complicated relationship with Zelda, and here it is. I have a Legend of Zelda tattoo on my back, not because I played the game and loved it, because I did like the game. Don't get me wrong, but I remember as a kid, as a young, I can't remember how old I was. I was like 6 or something. I was very young, and I just had a Nintendo, and it wasn't even my game. It was a game that was at a friend's house or a house that I was staying at being babysat. And I put the game in because it was gold and shiny and I'd never seen anything like that. Ooh. And
it was so shiny.
It was so shiny. And so I put it in, and the intro music, that first title screen. Dun, 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 dun. And as a kid, that affected me. Like everything that it was sort of like I knew exactly what I wanted to be when I grow up. I love the music. The music is what got me. The music was like it made you feel like you were a hero. You're about to go on this adventure, and I took that. I only played a little bit of the game at the time because I was so little and I died all the time because I didn't know how to play the game.
Fair enough.
So I would take that sort of feeling of adventure and I would, go and be a kid out in the world somewhere. But that song, that original song, just like that was one of the only moments that I can remember that I was like, yeah, this whole video game thing. This is for me.
Yes.
And music too. Like it was where it all clicked. And so that's why I have a Legend of Zelda tattoo on my back. I'm terrible at Zelda. I'm going to be very honest, but like that fucking game moved me so
game is
much,
fucking epic. That's
and
why.
I was terrible at it. But that, you don't have to beat a game, in my humble opinion, in order for it to affect you as it affected me.
No, I have to agree with that one. There's some games where like you play for a little bit and you're just like, I don't like this game, but it still affected you because you're like, I didn't like this game and this is why. Now I have a different taste for games.
Yeah. And it was like that feeling of adventure I still hold to this day. I have very little time to like play games. And so the games that I do play, I'm selective at. And I play, mostly RPGs, adventure games, because I want to experience adventure. Like I never was about skill. I was never about like, I want to beat the game and get that sort of that feeling of accomplishment. It was always, I want to go on this adventure. I want to feel adventure.
Fair enough. Even like that Legend of Zelda didn't really have much of a story in a sense. Just you're going here, you're trying to save something. You find Triforces, and then there's a princess.
Yeah, but you filled in the story yourself, really. And
yeah,
the booklet didn't have, the booklet had a story too. Like the booklet lets you know, like, hey, this is the story. Now go and live it. This polygonal world.
Jeez. That one, and then when you beat it once, you could go and do it on the different setting where the levels are different, the areas are different, and you have to refine everything. Now, just run Zelda. Did you play the second Zelda?
I did play the second Zelda, and harder than the first game, because again, it was a totally different game.
It was a totally different game than the rest. It was a side scroller. That was the weird thing. Like
what's so odd is I'm surprised they never really tried to go back to that form, at least for just like a smaller kind of game on the Switch or something. Like I guess they kind of did it with that. What was that one that came out for was it the 3DS? I forget, where the stages move like this. I can't remember. Or he's against the wall. I can't remember. I didn't play it.
I don't know.
But I'm surprised they never went like the side scroller route.
Yeah.
Like again after that, because I guess it was controversial at the time.
But then they made Super Nintendo and A Link to the Past. One of the best Zeldas out there.
That game I did beat. That was one of my first games on Super Nintendo, and Mega Man X. Mega Man X and Zelda were my first two Super Nintendo games, and I will never forget the time I put both of those games in my Nintendo, man.
God, I got that stuck in my head, the theme song, or just Mega Man X. It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
It just how they introduced the world was just genius, because they didn't give you like I guess back in the day they didn't really give you tutorials. They kind of just threw you in.
What's a save button?
Right. Back then we had passwords that were this long, and you had like exclamation points and lowercase letters, and I's look like L's, and
like Metroid putting in a password. Oh my God. You just get lost typing in, like, wait, what was that? Did I type everything in right? Maybe that's why I'm so good at analyzing and figuring out little errors, is because all these damn passwords I had to type.
Yeah, dude. These kids don't know. These kids don't know.
No. And then if you wrote down your password or you lost it, you lost your progress if you were able to even do that. Most games, after you die, like after 3 continues, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Done. And what was great, what I was saying about Mega Man X opening stage was that they gradually showed you how the game is played, like from that first stage. And you first see that bee hornet that comes down, and you think that's the boss, and it's like, no, that's not the boss. That's just some enemy that you just beat. Go on, sir. Go on. And that's where you learn how to wall jump. I remember this specifically, where you can grapple on the walls, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, because you killed I remember correctly, you killed a beat and it collapses down.
Yes.
Like the bridge, and then you had to climb up on one side.
You had to climb up. And you had no choice but to figure that out, because you couldn't go anywhere other than that. And they didn't tell you, hey, they were just like, figure it out, kid. And you figure it out.
To leave this area, you walk towards a wall, hold the arrow key towards it, and press the jump button. You could press it repeatedly to gain momentum upwards. No, they don't do that now. No. Or I mean, they didn't do that back then. It was just like, figure this shit out.
Yeah, it's like a tutorial for like every single button.
Like,
Which I'm fine with now. Which I'm fine with now because I'm older and it's like I don't have a bunch of time in the world to learn your damn game. So just give it to me all up front. Just like let me know how to play this game, and so I can move on with my life.
I'm trying to think of a game that didn't have a tutorial but desperately needed it. I can't think of what. That's different. That's a game where like you go in, you're going to be hacking and slashing. You need to know the stats or we're good at dodging. Shit, I haven't played it, but I've seen people play it. I'm just like, this is so slow and clunky. I like fast pace. I love fast pace.
People love them some Dark Souls, man. I'm not a Dark Souls fan per se because like difficulty in my humble opinion, I'm not all about it. I'm just kind of like, difficulty, beating a difficult boss. That's not why I play games.
Makes sense.
I play games for the adventure.
The adventure.
So wait, you say you're streaming Apex. Are you streaming just exclusively Apex?
Pretty much,
I feel like we had this conversation when I was
pretty much. I mean, unless like a good adventure game comes out, like Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, then yeah, I might stream that. I don't know, but at the same point, it just depends on how I feel at the moment. Like it's really weird. Like I play Apex and stream that mostly because I get my volume viewership kind of stays the same. So it's like, okay, might as well just keep doing this. But I do want to incorporate other things, but at the same point, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going on this adventure anymore from the last time we talked. I really don't. I legit took a break from almost everything. I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes you need it, man.
That's an understatement. So I took the break and now I'm getting back on track. I made a schedule for myself that I'm going to start Tuesday and just stick to it. Well, I'm starting it technically today, but it's going to be just editing instead of playing games all evening. I'm going to just edit because I have like thousands of hours I could just edit. So
gotta start
might
somewhere.
As well. Yeah, no, do it again. Then that's pretty much it. Like,
so are you streaming Apex because you want to stream Apex, or is
yes.
Are you like caught up in this sort of you made a Apex community kind of thing? And
I want to make an Apex community. I just haven't really like stepped in that forward in that section yet because like my original community was like a lot of OC cosplayers, and it turned into where I'm more gaming. I was more gaming, but my wife's the OC, so it's like we kind of combined them in a sense. But I'm trying to be solely Apex because that's where most of my content is. So it's like, fuck it, I'm going to do this, and I play. It's not because I solely play Apex because English is hard. No, for real. But I started playing it because they did some updates and it got better. I'm like, you know what? I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So
nice.
It's fast paced, first-person shooters, and it has a rank system. Most first-person shooter games don't have a rank system. So since this one has a rank system and I'm very competitive, it's something that I can learn and consistently get better at and better and see my progression go up.
I'm not familiar with first-person shooters. What is a rank system? Like, I have a general idea, but
you know how like you play competitively, and let's say you're, I don't know the best way to put this, but when you play baseball sports or any sports teams, when they go up against another team and they win, they get points if they towards like the playoffs. To be able to play in the playoffs. Okay. Mm-hmm. So like the rank system's like kind of like that. So you got to play ranked, and the higher placement you get in that match and more kills.
Oh wait, did Halo do this? Did recently? Halo do something? Not recently, but back in the day. Didn't they have ranked systems? You would like level up and you would get, I don't know. So when you say ranked, you level up essentially to get to a certain spot. Is that what you're meaning?
So essentially you start out at bronze, then you can go to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, then masters, and then predators, the people with the most points of the top 750 people in the world and on that platform. So essentially right now I'm diamond, which is one step away from master / pred, which is right next to the best, and I'm trying to get there. But when I was on console and playing casually, I was stuck at Platinum 4. Now I'm like one whole tier higher. But the ironic thing is, I'm very competitive. I've done Street Fighter 5 competitively, Marvel competitively, and I would just get stuck or I just couldn't figure out stuff. Like it was just too much information. So just imagine in Street Fighter 5, a new character comes out. You got to use your character, learn literally every frame, how far that move goes out, what combos work or don't work on that person for the range, and just every little thing about that fight and learning your opponent all at once.
Wow.
While comparing to, I'm like, I want to do this, but I can't.
That's a lot. It's essentially like, dude, like when that whole argument, like whether video games are a sport or not, it's like what you just explained, like there's so much strategy and thought, and there is physical movement, even though it's with your hands and, but there is physical movement. It's not a, you're not throwing a ball or anything, but like, like is it, I mean, that sounds like a sport to me. If curling is an Olympic sport, then video games can be a sport. Fair enough. End the argument.
Right. So with how Street Fighter was so hard, I didn't give up on it. I did give up on playing Street Fighter 5 because like I just grew out of it. Not grew out of it, just I got tired of it in a weird way.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like I wanted to find something. So I played Apex. I'm like, okay. I started doing rank. I'm like, you know what? I could do this competitively. I can actually get up there. I can actually learn. I can get there. And like being 36 years old and still getting the diamond and keeping up with like people who are 19 is kind of funny at times. Even though I'm not freaking masters yet, the point being like, I'm seeing this. I'm like, I can actually do this. I know I can. And that's the main reason why I stay with Apex, because it consistently drives my competitive side. It makes me get better. And what did I do different in this situation? Why did I lose in this situation? What could I have done different? What should I did? Was best played? And that's what things I think about. And what the only thing that's like the one wall I cannot break right now that I want to break in like competitiveness is finding people who can tolerate being called out on their bullshit. Because like
good luck.
God, bro, I've gone through so many people where like I'm pointing out what happened and then they leave and then they don't ever come back. But then I also point out like, okay, I'll give you a little rundown. Beginning of this reset, or every 45 days there's a rank reset. So I'll go from tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll go from Diamond 4 down to Platinum 4, then add the -2 more levels. So I'll be Gold 2. I'll have to reclimb back up. So I'm not where I was at. I have to re-earn it.
Yeah.
There was one guy who was dropping down. He just wanted to do every fight. He got the diamond quickly, but he got hard stuck diamond. Being hard stuck means you just are not getting any points and you don't get demoted. Because once you're at that tier, you don't get demoted. So once you hit masters, you don't get demoted, but you have to grind the points to get the predator. So so he's hard stuck diamond 4 while I'm sitting here going, yeah, because your Russian strategy does not work once you reach the actual higher difficulty lobbies.
So that caused a little stir.
No, he was in my stream and we were playing with him consistent. Me and my buddy, my second, we're bitching on like, man, like he pushes, he does these things like this, and he shouldn't be pushing that fight. We had a position, we were holding the position, but he wanted to push a fight when we didn't need to push the fight, and we gave up position and ended up getting flanked. We wouldn't have gotten flanked if we stayed where we were at.
Wow.
And he was in my stream checking that out. I'm like, oh shit, got caught in 4K. Oh well, don't care. And he's like, oh, it's just different play styles. I'm like, but dude, like honestly, it is. But then at the same point, once you reach diamond, it's not play like that. You can't do that because like everyone at diamond will see you and just shoot you wherever they see you from.
So when you're playing, is this a team? So are you with a group? You're okay. Mm-hmm. You're with a group of 3. So yes. Yeah, I mean, like I haven't played the game, so I'm just going to say this in generalities, but in a team, you got to have this, same sort of philosophy. If I'm correct on this, you got to be on the same page. You got to be like, you're in this area, I'm in this area, you cover me here. And then, when this happens, there's there's again strategy.
Oh yeah.
And not being on the same page is like, that's rule number one, be on the same page.
True that. But there's some people like I'll run across that has a different play style, but then understands like, oh, this guy plays like this. I'm gonna stay by him, so because like I know where he's positioned and he's not moving from that position, but he's watching this section and he's good at it. So I'm going to do something where he will actually work out well. There's a lot of times I drop solo to learn new play styles and meet new people. And some people are cool, some people are just downright idiots, and then other people just will start calling you like bad names out of nowhere. And it's like, dude, okay. So Apex is a battle royale like Fortnite. I was playing Rampart because this guy picked Valkyrie. Me and this person were in a building because there's a squad in front of us in a building. There was a squad to our left in a building. At this time, for some reason, our Valkyrie went outside and was on top of the building to the left. While he was there, two guys were running there. I sniped them, did 110 to 1. Mind you, you get 225 max health if you have a shield, and you have to level up the shield. But these guys had blue, so they only had 175. So the guy had 90 health left, right? The other one, or less than that, something, I don't know. So the other one, same thing. And they were running in to get healed. I said, they're damaged, get them. And I couldn't get another shot on them because they went into cover behind that. This guy didn't do anything to them. Ended up going on the outside, getting shot by the squad that was directly in front of us on the top of the building and the one directly to the left. Shoom. I watched all the freaking bullets hit him. He drops, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get you. And then they finish him off, which means now you have to grab his banner to respawn him instead of picking him up when he just got knocked.
Oh, fascinating.
He's after the mat. I started trying to get closer, but we got swamped by two squads. One came in, and then the other one came in right behind them, but on a different floor. So we got pinched between two squads and got destroyed really quickly. It happens a lot. He starts calling me like a whole bunch of names and shit, like you. I'm like, dude, you went out in the open and got yourself killed. I watched it happen. I was going there to give you some cover fire, but there was two squads shooting at you. What?
Man,
what?
you're
just a damage farmer person. I'm like, oh my god.
You're reminding me so much of the time that me and my buddies were playing. That's when Halo 2 first came out, and we played. That was when it was first online for consoles. Halo 2 on the Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, Xbox 2. Was it Xbox 360? I can't remember. But we would have LAN. Yeah, it would be, we would LAN because we all lived in the same house together. We were in a band. And so we set up LAN parties between all the consoles and we play online. But it was so cool because like we didn't need headsets because we can talk to each other through the rooms. And man, we would have strategies going. We would just, but it was so fun, like just thinking back to those days. And it's awesome that you're currently doing it right now online. But like I can't play first person shooters now because I'm just terrible at them. But like back in the day, man, Halo 2 was like we would take it so seriously. We would take it like right after work. We'd all have, day jobs, whatever. We'd come right after work, sit down and be like, all right, let's go. Let's freaking move it. Let's go. Yeah. And
I never really did the LAN party thing, but I did always have a buddy over. I went to a buddy's house, played Virtual Fighter, Street Fighter, like Marvel's Capcom, and
dude, we would bring our own. We would bring our own TVs to our friend's house to play Halo, to do a LAN party, a TV, Xbox. At one point we had I think it was 16 people in a room with all their different TVs. It was the max that you could do. Cause I think each Xbox could hold, I can't remember how many people could actually be in the battle royale, if you will. I think it was either 8. It was either 8 or 16. I can't remember, but dude, just a bunch of Dr. Pepper and pizza and just
Dr. Pepper is the way to go. But yeah, those are the good old days before you could do that. Now it's just like, You got Discord? That's really what it is. Like, hey, let's hang out. Okay, Discord. Like, well,
Yeah,
not before it was like, okay, phone call. Okay, did they answer? Yes, they answered. You want to hang out? Yeah. Click.
dude.
Is he
Yeah.
coming over? Damn, he ditched me.
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember land lines? Did you ever
Oh
have
yeah,
dude?
yeah,
That was like that was
yes.
like a level of freedom that you needed as a kid. You're like your own landline in your room. Like that was teenager goals back in the day.
Oh my God, yeah, it was. But yeah, that's a long time ago.
That was a long
Now I'm
time
starting to
ago.
feel old, but I'm not old. The fuck? The
I
fuck?
know we're like mid old. You know, we're
We're the
like
only generation and last generation is going to understand that there was no internet. We had to make fun for ourselves. That there was dial up and all these other technological advances. And now look where we're at.
I
We
know.
are at this point where it's like, oh man, I could just do everything on my computer. I don't even have to go anywhere.
You don't have to leave the house. You don't.
No, not at all.
And now people are just working from home. You know, it's
Dude, I've
just
been contemplating, thinking about trying to find a job to work from home so I can edit videos while I'm working.
yeah, dude. Like at my other job, my job for 13 years, I had mastered that job so much I would get my work done within like within an hour or whatever, and I would just edit videos for for most of the day. Yeah, and yeah,
Man, that must have been nice.
it was nice. It was actually really nice. But
Can you
now,
still do that with the new one?
no, I
Oh,
can't now. I'm like on my feet most of the time, which is fine. I actually
oh,
like the work that I do. I actually enjoy my work, but it is what it is. But I've made do because at that time I've really concentrated on the live streaming and the live streaming. I'm concentrating on things that I can do like in a day that doesn't take a lot of time editing. Like the live streams, but even like making clips out of the live streams is kind of like I that's why I like TikTok so much, and while I'm getting so much engagement on TikTok, and I put most of the clips on TikTok and no other place because like I just number one I don't have the time. It's a lot of work. Even just posting to different sites, it's like you got to type in the things for each site and whatever. So, but like with TikTok, like I could just post the clips on there, and I think I've hit a good stride as far as creative things that I'm doing. Is what I'm saying.
okay, okay. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass posting on everything, but at the same point, it works out. It's interesting. Like whenever I make a video or like a short, I go to Instagram, hover, high note, what's that other one? Clip apps, TikTok, and yeah, all at the same time, and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. I need to start doing that again. I did it originally, but I was like, I just wasn't getting anything from Instagram. And I was just kind of like, why am I even doing this? Like, and Insta, like,
It's one of those where it's like you never know. Like you know how like you go to the store and then you buy a lottery ticket for the hell of it, then out of nowhere, so you won like $1,000. You're like, oh wait, what?
fair
I just
point.
bought this randomly, and that's honestly sad to say to like get explosive viral engagement and reach is like luck like that. I don't care who you are. It's like having the right idea at the right, like having an idea. Okay, I've been listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you heard of him, but
Mm-hmm.
he is. Oh, you know him? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Don't even explain. All right. Well, he explained in one of his lectures that you can be a creative person, an entrepreneur with the right idea, the right thing, and show the world that hey, you can use this product and it'll make your service and everything better, and it would go nowhere. But then someone else does the same idea 2 years later, and they eat that idea up, and it's the exact same thing, and it blows up. It's about like timing and just getting lucky all at the same time.
That is yeah. Yeah. That yeah, I'm familiar with Jordan Peterson. I've actually been to one of his lectures.
Oh my God, like,
Yeah.
dude, I started listening to it recently, but yeah, before we go on Jordan Page, let me kind of go like this. Like, you know how when you play the lottery, The more money you put in, the higher chances you have to win. But the fact that you'll get your money back is very low. While with content creation, I've learned is that just posting everywhere, it gives you a higher percent ratio of being seen. Like I've had some videos on Instagram that go into thousands and other hundreds. Then does that same video do like nothing on YouTube Shorts? But then I'll have a video that does exceptionally well on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, but not on this platform. It's so weird, but I just do it anyway because it works.
Yeah, it's because what you're explaining is just work, you know, and you're doing it's essentially doing a job essentially. Yes. And because not every day at your job is going to be great. They're just going to be, you're just going through the motions most of the time. Like 95% of your year at your day job is going to be just going through the motions, and 5% of that are going to be really great days. You know, and like 1%, it's going to be that one awful day. But, you know, it's just like, but with content creation.
So true.
It's so like, I get like this, and it's just because I this is my personality, and it's a toxic trait that I've identified lately. At least as soon as much as I've started doing like content creation, is I get caught up in the numbers. I can't, like, most of the time, 90% of the time, like we were just saying, is like, I'm okay with it. I'm just like, you know what, this is work. I'm going to keep doing it. And I do this because I love it. And that's true. But then something, you know, this other side of me is like, it's that human sort of, I want to call it like, let's call it what it is. It's human greed is what it is because I want more, you know, and maybe not greed, but just like, maybe not. No, greed is too, because it's not greed. That's too harsh a word. It really is a form of greed because you're wanting more. And you're being gluttonous towards the numbers that you want to be fed more attention by looking at numbers, and everything else is like growing and getting to where you want to be. And it is a form of greed because like you want more, but then at the same point, you look at someone else that probably does the same thing and go, how? But then it's like, how? But then you look at others and it's like, you're nowhere, but you have a better setup than I do. What? It's a bipolar thing that I have in my friggin' brain that I'm just like, yeah, one side is like, what do you think? Do you think you deserve something? What's wrong with you? You're nothing. You got to work this time. You got to work so much harder because you'll watch someone else that's like amazing, and you're like, oh, I'm definitely not as good as that. So duh. And then there's the other side. It's like, well, I maybe a little bit more wouldn't be.
Well, at the same point, the more is fine because the more will sustain to what you need to do. But there's also that balance of where you can have greed and want more, but have the understanding that if you can't get there, what are you doing wrong? What could you add that would help? It's not really a form of greed if you're giving at the same point, because you're giving content for people to watch and enjoy. So it's like a selfless act, but at the same time, it's like you're making this content and in yourself, you're like, man, I hate myself because I feel like I'm making this for no reason. But then at other times you're doing so well, it's like, what really it is a roller coaster that's like on a gravity lit or a gravity controlled device or some shit. Yeah. You don't know when you're going to go up or down. Like, a normal roller coaster, a normal job, you could see the downs and ups every day. You can't when you're a content creator. You don't know when out of nowhere you'll just get canceled because some random person went high, or get famously known like Jordan Peterson out of nowhere because he said something that like, and everyone like loved it because it makes so much fucking sense. Everything he says makes so much fucking sense. It really does.
Yeah, I went down a Jordan Peterson kick there for a hot minute. When he came out, it was right before, like, he came to Nashville, like, I don't know, I feel like it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to much of him lately. I've just been, I actually haven't listened to much podcasts lately. I actually been just listening every moment of free time I have. I'm just listening to requests from my TikTok channel.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it is an emotional roller coaster, content creation. And I'm just wondering, do you have those ups and downs too? Are you in the same emotional boat as I am. Is like, am I the only person that has these like back and forths in my own brain?
When I first, if you're talking about numbers directly, at first I did. Now I kind of just am like, I'm gonna do what I want to do and have fun. The only thing I want to concentrate on is getting my YouTube up to where like I can use that as a major source of income. But that's a different form of creation. YouTube and compared to all the other short content stuff, and even YouTube's not short because it's long term. It's different.
Yeah.
Twitch is different. Twitch, I was talking to my buddy. He was partnered on YouTube and Twitch, and he switched recently to Twitch. I mean, to YouTube. He switched to YouTube to do YouTube gaming. He switched there for a couple months now, and he says it's like consistent because Twitch is like all about flash, like emotes and all this like random things going on the screen. Like it's crazy. You can't just play the game and go. While YouTube, you can a little bit. It's very interesting because it's much calmer. YouTube community is totally different than the Twitch community.
Interesting.
It was very interesting when he was telling me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see this, I get it. And I'm like, maybe I should try YouTube for a little bit for the fuck of it. I mean, I got both, but Twitch, like I like just chilling, but I watch all these other streamers. They got all this stuff going on in chat, and the ones who are, it's so weird, like chatting on the screen, random things going on left and right, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't see how Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers can handle like the sheer amount of chat that's going on with how many people are watching them live. I was like, God, that can be overwhelming.
Oh, when it's like, I've listened to a few interviews with some of these creators, and when their chat's going nuts, they say, I glance over, I read what I can, whatever catches my eye is what I'll be able to read or respond to. Otherwise, there's no point. It's just like it's going too fast.
Yeah. But I guess that could be a sign of like you must be doing something right. Like that's a good sign. Like if the chat is going by super fast, you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
This is a good thing. Unless unless it's all negative and you just didn't see it. And you're just like, that's good times.
Like, right? Man, did I get hate rated? Yeah, oh well. I can hate love. Let's go. But yeah, so what I love about Jordan Peterson is that he's a clinical psychologist. On top of, he read the Bible, but he didn't read it, I don't think for religious beliefs, but for just the value of what was in the stories.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you're bringing them up because like in my early podcast days, I was really struggling with this sort of because I got really into Jordan Peterson and about the religion aspect of everything, and I consider myself an agnostic. I don't know, and whatever. But like the way he explained the Bible was in a way that I never heard someone speak about the Bible before.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay. And the importance of stories and how valuable they are to human beings in general. And that stories aren't just stories. Stories are actually things that we strive to be, just as much as, being inspired by a real human, heroes of a story are just as important. There's another author that kind of goes down the same path. I forget his name. But he wrote the book about heroes, essentially.
Okay.
And I forget what this author's name is, but what he did is he went around and collected all the religious stories from all different religions, and he wanted to try and figure out if there was a path, if there was something similar with all these religions, and sure enough there was, and it's the hero's journey. The hero's journey. That's what the book is called, I think. And so yeah, it was just I really enjoyed that part of it, and I really enjoyed his debate with. If you haven't watched it yet, it's really fascinating. It's a debate between him and oh god dang it, what's his name? Big atheist, what's his name? But it was really calm, and it wasn't like a debate, it was more like a conversation between two people that held different views. And I really appreciate stuff like that, because I'm not all about the I've life is too short to get into like to get so caught up on differences between people.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Mhm.
like I love everybody that it wants, it loves me, or is like respectful to me. Like we'll have a conversation. I have friends in all different sorts of different backgrounds and different religious aspects. Like it's anyway, that's sorry. We're just
yeah.
I like to keep it that way, because then I'm open to so much more great experiences.
Keeping an open discussion about anything, even if I don't believe in what you're saying, but at least you can express, I can listen to it and understand it, then I'll have an open discussion. It's the people who will just sit there and be like, no, fuck you, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's your point?
When you shut down the conversation. Yeah, I've had. Yeah. Like at that, we're not. Yeah. At that point, you're not engaging in civil discourse at that point. You're wrong. It's like, how do you know I'm wrong? Like, who are you?
Exactly.
Who am I? Like,
right.
I never tell anybody, you're wrong. At least not anymore. Maybe when I was like 20 and I didn't know anything and thought I did, because when you're 20, you think you rule the world because you're immortal. You think you are immortal, but as the years go by, you don't,
you realize they're very vulnerable.
Yeah, you were very vulnerable and you knew nothing.
Yep. Yeah, I started listening to him like a couple weeks ago, and it really just changed my perspective on everything. That you create your own hell in life, and that you're the only one that you can climb out of it. And just the little minuscule changes that you do that are positive will affect even everyone around you.
Yeah.
And a little amount, and then it will affect them to affect everyone around them back to you. And I was like,
yeah, it starts with you, man. Like I love that. I love that message. It starts with you. Basically, I think it's one of his first rules is clean your bed. And it's like, or
clean your room.
Clean your room. That's right. It's clean your room. And clean your bed. My wife's like, clean your bed.
Me.
No, it's clean your room. And I like the symbolism in that, because that means, like, if you present yourself as someone who's got their shit together, then you're inherently like attractive, and not attractive in like a sexual way, but attractive just in general. Like, people are attracted to something like that.
Your vibe that you're putting out at that point,
right.
your aura that you're emitting at that moment. Man, I can't talk. Dude, but anyway, it's okay.
Dude, it's all right.
Like I said earlier, English is I didn't say this one, but English is my first language, but I still don't know how to speak it.
But you know what's funny? It's like I got most of my, like, I had good. Let me just start this by saying I had awesome parents, but like video games kind of taught me how to be a good person. I know we're kind of veering in this, but like sort of taught me how, like, what to do. Okay, I'll give you an example. Like the adventure, like games with storylines and choices. You can choose your path. Like Witcher's really great at this. The Witcher.
The show was good. The show was really good too.
The show is awesome. I love the show. But you choose your choices, and every time I never do the evil decision, because even if I did do the evil decision, I would feel awful. It's a game. It's all fake. It's nothing. None of it is real, but I felt it. Like, I feel awful. Like, oh my God, I caused this. I caused this mayhem.
Sometimes it's good because it lets some stress out, because you're just like, yes, I did this mayhem. I saved beforehand. Just like the Fallout series, you could do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but with video games, you just load the save.
Yeah, you can just reload. You can't do that in life.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with little GTA 3 going around with an AK, blowing up a bunch of buildings and cars. There's nothing wrong with that,
Oh my God!
As long as you do your Bloody Marys and your Hail Marys, and then God forgive me. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! Wow.
Because remember, kids, if you think it, you did it. So saith the Catholic Church.
I never understood that.
I know,
And
right?
that teaches everyone not to have imagination.
I know. Dude, it actually reminds me of like George Carlin's bit on the Catholic religion under the Ten Commandments when he tries to whittle the Ten Commandments down to two commandments. Have you ever seen that stand up?
No, I
Oh,
have
dude,
not.
whenever you have free time, it's one of George Carlin's stand ups, the Ten Commandments. I'm sure it's on YouTube. And he
Oh
whittles down
yeah.
the Ten Commandments to two commandments, and just the whole bit is just. I don't want to say anything
Yeah,
and
yeah,
ruin it, but
yeah.
like, dude, it's genius.
Okay,
Sad that
okay.
he's gone.
Ooh.
But it's amazing. But
Okay,
anyway,
okay.
yeah, like have like do you remember a specific time as a kid playing games like and you're like did you remember was there a moment where you're like yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is my thing. Like this is this is who I'm going to be
Who I'm gonna be as in?
as a gamer. Like it like
Oh,
like identify like I love this is my thing. You know, like football is people's things. Like,
when I first started playing games, and that was really young. That was when I had regular Nintendo, and I started playing Mario and Zelda. Like, I don't even know when that was, but just back then when I started playing that, I just I never stopped playing. Never did. Like, and I played so many games, so many. I would get a new one every weekend, play it and beat it almost that day, every time.
wow, look at you.
Yeah.
You got it. You're in it. It got
Yeah.
you.
Now, like I could do the same thing with some games. I could just sit there. I could play literally for 18 hours and be fine.
Oof.
But I know when to break. I know when to get up. I know when to get food. Like I'm not one of
How
those
do
that
you,
just like,
because you said you had a son, like, how do you balance being a parent and doing what you do?
oh, I come home from work and we watch anime together.
That's all.
I mean, I come home from work. I'm like, anime is like, oh, like, okay. And we go and we watch anime. Like we just got done with
How old's your son?
13.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. We just got done today watching Jobless Reincarnation.
I'm not much of an anime watcher. To be completely fair.
Total nerd, anti-social person,
Ah,
dies, gets
mm-hmm.
reincarnated into a new world, and he's just a really good mage, and this just the story is really well done. Like
It certainly sounds like an anime.
yeah, but the story itself is just so well done, and that's what I appreciate. I was watching Tokyo Ghoul, and I was like, this is cool, but like the story kind of got like all over the place, like out of nowhere for no reason. Like, what? I
Also,
mean,
sounds like an anime.
I guess. I mean, I've seen some normal TV shows where I'm like,
Yeah.
why did you just go there? Have you seen Batman versus Superman? I
Oh my
mean, the
god.
Flash appearing in there in the back of that scene with the Flash appearing there should have been actually the very first scene of the movie where Batman is dreaming back why Robin is dead and why he's so angry at Superman.
What?
Then it would have been like, oh, ooh, this is actually
What a
now we know
disappoint.
why.
What a disappointing movie. I was so pumped when the trailer came out. Man, I thought it was one of the best trailers of any movie I've ever seen. And
It was
then the movie came out and like it's 3 hours long.
yeah.
Like,
It was legit the first movie that I wanted to watch, not in theaters, but when I was able to see it, that I actually fell asleep to. Now, I've fallen asleep to movies before, but not where I actually want to watch something. Like movies where I'm just like, oh, okay, we're watching this, okay. Like shit like that, yeah, but not a movie where I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
have you ever
Like, it's
walked out of a
Batman.
movie before in movie theaters when movie theaters were a thing?
Oh shit, there might have been one, but I don't remember which one.
It was that bad.
But I don't like walking out of a movie because like it takes a really really bad movie for me to see that is not a good movie.
Yeah.
Like really bad. Usually I will stay and be like, well, this happened, this happened. Well, it's kind of stupid at this point. Like I'll analyze it, but I can't. I really can't think of anyone offhand.
There was one. I've actually never walked out of a movie before, so there's that. But my friends tell a story of when they watched this what's her name? Mila Djokovic, is that her name? The
From
girl from
Resident
Resident Evil.
Evil and Wolf
Yeah,
movies. Yeah.
yeah. So she was in a movie called, I think it was her, something Violet. I forget. It was something like that. It was some like action. The trailer was really cool, and it was sort of like this futuristic sort of action flick, whatever. And they were in there for an hour, and after the hour mark, they were like, "There's no way this movie can get any worse." But we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave right now. And like they went out and got their money back. And like I got him. What was that movie called? Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy.
I don't know. But
Something
that sounds like it was around the time when Sucker Punch came out.
Oh yeah,
Kick
Sucker Punch.
Ass. Uh,
Yeah,
Sucker Punch was so weird at how like the ending was and how the whole show could have been just done. Like the whole movie and aspect was done in that one moment.
I got it. The movie was called Ultraviolet.
Oh, okay. I did not see it, but I know what you're talking
Ultraviolet.
about.
It has
It was
got
that bad.
8% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 4 out of 4 on IMDb. I'm sorry,
Ouch.
4 out of 10. 4.4 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, but Sucker Punch, like I thought that was an awesome, cool, well done movie until the end. I was just like, that's
Yeah, the ending kind of threw it off a little bit, right? It's just
Yeah.
like, wait, so they're all crazy?
The thing is, like, she had a lobotomy done, and when she had a lobotomy, was the whole thing, everything in her head, just because, like, right at the moment when she had the lobotomy done?
Yeah, that dude, like that, you know what that is? That's the it
That's
was
like
all a
Inception.
dream. It was all a dream.
Inception. Shit.
I actually did enjoy Inception. I did enjoy Inception because it didn't have that sort of twist. That kind of left it open, you know?
Well,
And
the thing is, you could expect that from that movie,
right.
not Sucker Punch, where it's just like last minute explaining a little bit, then like, oh, what? No,
No.
yeah, like no,
You know, like that kind of bothers me with showrunners or movie creators is like they try to be all cute at the end. You know, it's like, calm down, M. Night Shyamalan. All right, let's let's just
Dude,
make a story
gets...
that makes sense.
Okay, speaking of M. Night, he's the one who made the Avatar movie, right? The remake, like the live action.
No, you're James. Oh wait. Oh yes, you're right.
He
yes,
made the live action. I personally thought that was one of his best fucking movies.
People hated that movie. I never watched it.
But the thing is, like, people hated the movie because, like, the characters weren't matching exactly how the diehard Avatar fans were hating it because it did not match the original, like 100%. I'm just like, this is M. Night Shyamalan for one. He did a decent freaking action movie with like out some weird twists, like how you got Unbreakable, or even was that Ghost movie. I forgot which one that one was. But that was interesting.
Well, his original, yeah.
Or Signs.
Oh, dude, Signs is one of my favorite movies.
I couldn't get into that one.
Dude, I love that movie. What? I loved it. It was so good. God. I love the music. The music was great.
Yes, like, the music was good.
I love the scene where the alien pops out. I was like, oh. That's so good. But partly because I like aliens, and I feel like, you know, I'm like I was really into that show, Ancient Aliens, there for a hot minute.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it is kind of interesting how when you go to from the Aztecs, the Egyptians, and the Mayans, and they all have the same designs in their temples and pyramids, while they were like on the other sides of the world.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's also another belief, which I was going to mention earlier, is like with the rule we were talking about religions and stuff, like how all of the religions are tied together. It's just what my buddy's theory is, and I thought was pretty interesting, is that, okay, so you got all these religions, like and mythologies, that they all actually are just like one person per one that were those types of gods, but the aliens left. Like, essentially they were all aliens, all these gods that they were writing about.
Yeah.
And like, it's the Tower of Babylon. or Babel. Is it Babel or Babylon? Whatever.
I'm not sure. I think
Yeah,
I
but
think
you know the tower.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Is an actual rocket ship, not a tower. But like in all reality, like just thinking about it, like you think about like all the religions just because they're made in different time eras, it makes sense if it was the same person because let's say aliens could live like for thousands of years. I mean, we don't know, but like,
you don't know.
It's just interesting. Know. You got these three tribes having the same images from across the freaking world, and then you get all these different religions, beliefs, and mythology. It's like
my thing is like it's like when they drew like ancient paintings with like essentially UFOs like that fascinates the hell out of me. UFOs, I'm like, why would planes, they? Yeah. Why would they draw that? That's why? What were they thinking back in those times? I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
And also, suspicious. I love how like there's these Pentagon UFO videos and like no one cares. like we have pilots and we're like, yeah, I chased a UFO, and people are like,
yeah. That's funny because like they actually, I don't know if that was on Ancient Aliens, but recently, since there was so many sightings by air fighters and just people of the Air Force, that they couldn't actually say anything at one point, or they would be deemed crazy or like insane because nothing was popping up on the radar, and they would get like essentially in trouble, but like but they were in trouble because they won't be able to fly, or they'll be like grounded or something because they said they saw something, and the psychologist like, that doesn't exist, like you're just imagining it, now you have schizophrenia or some shit. Like no, they actually someone in the high officials actually was like, no, everyone needs to document this and not think they're crazy, because like we don't know what that is, and what if it's a threat to us.
Yeah, that's
okay. Like... Jeez, so many crazy stuff.
Yeah, I listened to like the Joe Rogan podcast with the pilot that actually described the video, because he was one of the dude, and he the way that a pilot describes in a series, he's serious. He's like, this is what I saw, like I am dead set. Like I've been a pilot for how many years, I've been in this war and that war, this, that, and the other, and he's sitting here and he's explaining like a tic tac that is literally doing things that essentially like something that it just is literally physically impossible.
Yeah.
Like it was such a good podcast. I loved it.
I gotta listen to that one.
I forget what his name was, but I'm sure you can find it. It's
Joe Rogan, Aliens, and Air Force.
Yeah, you have to sift through actually.
that mofo has so many podcasts, and I watched this very first podcast, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the hell?
Joe, like he started on it. This was before YouTube even was a thing. It was a Ustream. He started on Ustream, and he streamed in like the comedy club.
Yeah, and
just sit and talk.
And then he started doing podcasts, and he's been doing it ever pretty regularly ever since. And
well, he has the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah,
which is kind of nuts.
He started podcasting. That's why. So when he was podcasting, this is a little known fact that when he started podcasting, that it was so new that Apple and all these other platforms were promoting him for free because it was a new genre that people wanted to listen to. So he was just getting put on the front pages of everything. But then at the same point, like he's good at what he does. He knows how to talk. He knows
he knows how to talk because he grew up with martial arts, and every person that I have met that has grown up with martial arts has this this sense of like honing a craft. Like whatever thing that they pick up, they want to make sure that they hone it as best as they possibly can. In order to you grew up in martial arts?
Not a lot, but a good couple of years. I was in some classes.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So like I love that because you're
enforcing what you are talking about right now. It's like, yeah, you actually do have a good point. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
I think it might just be like discipline. That's the word I'm looking for. You understand the meaning of discipline and what that means as far as, what that means for anything that you do in life. You're just kind of like, I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better guitar player. I want to be a better streamer. I want to be a better anything. You have that mental. You have that from a martial childhood to like apply to
learning how
whatever.
to push your limits of every type of aspect of life when knowing when to stop.
Yeah. Knowing when to take a break.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm actually putting it in more of like a global perspective of literally everything. It's like knowing how much being nice is too nice, and knowing when like saying some things and when crossing the line is not good, and knowing when to stop. Like I talked to, let me give you a little example. There's a guy at work that like we talk on the phone all day because I deliver mail, so I could just be on the phone all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just be chit-chatting. He'll say and do some stuff. I'm just like, dude, stop. Just stop. But then like in return, if he does it, I never do it again because he already said stop. Well, he will randomly do what he's saying again and not realize. And he's not for
conversational assassin.
Fair enough. But like, it's very interesting that like you say this discipline, I'm like, that actually does make a lot of sense because it's learning everything in a whole and understanding that everything in life you need a form of discipline to understand if you want to excel or not be anywhere or actually be able to respect another person or treat other people right. It's weird. I never thought of it that way until like this conversation.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think like because my best friend, he grew up with karate and he became a black belt, and that dude, like if he sets his mind to something, like he was a very skinny dude growing up. We were in a band together, and he was like the skinny tall kid, really funny. And when he decided he wanted to work out and started to like actually like take care of his body, that started and it never stopped. He is now a CrossFit trainer and manager at one of the CrossFit gyms out in LA, and it's just like he just never stopped. He found something that he fell in love with, and he just did it. And dude is jacked now. Like
shit, I imagine. Fuck.
Although never bring up CrossFit around him. Just don't do that. So you don't bring up CrossFit around people who like CrossFit. That's like sin number one.
Thinking about that, maybe this would enforce one of my morals of, how when someone says they're going to do something and then they just don't do it.
Oh yeah. I'm a big procrastinator. See that whole discipline thing? I never took martial arts as a kid.
But the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure if you told someone you would do something for them, especially like you would do it. I'm pretty sure you're that kind of guy. Like you say, hey, I need this done. Can you help me out here? You would be there.
Yeah.
Why are so many other people saying they'll do something and not do it? What is up with that?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I've known so many people that are like that they said we'll do something and I'm like, oh dude, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. Or this came up or,
or they just ghost you.
Yeah. They just ghost you. They don't even tell you. Like I remember, and this is why I kind of stopped like looking for gigs as a drummer. It kind of ruined me in that way. Cause I was just like, because living out here in Nashville, you're kind of like, that's one of your options is like gigging as a drummer. And so there was a time where I was like, my band that I was in had just broken up. So I was like, trying to find gigs here and there. And, but he was like, hey, I got this, gig for this country singer and it's going to be a 2-month tour and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, cool. That sounds great. When can we start rehearsals? And he's like, let me get back to you on that. And I'm planning out members and stuff like that. So you know where this is going, right? And so like 2 weeks go by and I message him back and he's like, oh, I'm still working on it, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And so another 2 weeks go by and I'm like, bro, what's the deal, man? I got to tell my job, like, if I'm going to be going on this tour that you said was going to happen, a month ago, like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I'm not with them anymore. I'm not, they're, because he was the manager. Sorry, I should have started that. He was the manager of that, of that group, whatever. And I'm like,
that's straight fuckery right there. That,
bro, like, you didn't think you could tell me? Like, you told me you went through this whole spiel saying this is going to be these dates with this thing, and like I had to block out time. And
what I'm imagining is that he had everything lined up, and then the key players that were supposed to be involved to push it like actually through just said fuck you, and it's like their own way.
Yeah, but yeah. And what was most up about it is like he wasn't like a friend, but he was at least an acquaintance. Like we were on a first name basis with one another. I know of him, and it just like common courtesy would be like, hey, by the way, like it's not gonna work. Sorry, shit happens. And then I've been like, cool, like shit does happen. I'll move on. And it was just. At that point, I was just kind of like, I really picked up the content creation at that point. I was like, dude, if I'm going to be playing drums, I'm going to be playing drums for myself. And like, I'm going to be doing the things that I love to do. And I'm just not, unless it's like a can't pass up sort of deal. Like, hey, like this is a real deal. You're going on tour kind of thing. Then but like I've stopped looking.
No, I'm kind of like in the same aspect with like people and asking people for anything, because I had a person that was good with websites and they said they would help me. I gave them information, still had yet to help me, and that was over a year ago. I had people who say they have a whole bunch of like designs for me to use, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, you want anything in compensation? No, I'm just doing it for whatever. Okay, never saw them, but yet I talked to them for a while. Or like I asked, hey, like, can you edit these videos? And then they say they will, but then don't. Or I'll get, I've just learned that like, it's so hard to find someone who's consistent and actually will do something.
Yeah, that's the one thing about free labor, though. It's like you get what you pay for.
I was willing to compensate these people.
It's true.
That's the thing.
That's true. Like I think they're like the exchange of goods in a sort of in a relationship like that, where you saying like, hey, design this for me, I'm going to pay you, and then of course if they deny payment, then there's not much you can do, but like because you're gonna hopefully get a free product, and worst case scenario you don't get one, but at least you didn't lose any money.
Exactly.
But I do feel like the exchange of goods, at least that like motivates someone to get something, like because you just got paid to do a job, and by not doing it, like you've done something, you essentially stole this person's money. And I think that's a sin that not a lot of people are willing to commit.
I don't know. I also like, I'm talking about like more like things that like kind of like messed me up mentally like kind of recently. It's like I meet so many people that want to be friends, and I get to know like people, and I talk to them on a regular basis. Down nowhere, they just disappear. And I'm thinking like, is it me? Because like as listening to Jordan Peterson, it's like maybe it's you. What is wrong with you? And I dig deep in myself. I'm like, I care how other people feel. I listen to them. If they need to reach out, I'm here. I'm very literal when I talk. I'm very serious. I don't really beat around the bush. But then I'm realizing people don't like the beating or the very serious and literal, and they just want people to shut the fuck up and just listening to them. So it's like it contradicts who I really am. But then at the same point, like it's just weird. It's a very weird situation.
I think, especially now, like with the pandemic and everyone's gone crazy. But like it just everyone's gone crazy, and everyone's just like not really talking as much because they've there's a little less hope in their systems. Like, and I've definitely felt it during this whole thing, and it's definitely caused me to not talk to my friends as much as I used to, because I've kind of forced myself into this box of a different way of thinking, so that the pandemic doesn't weigh so hard on my heart. So I'm focusing on so many other things that make me happy. Um, like and the fact that we're getting older and everyone has kids and everyone has a
Yeah.
job in their lives, and I think that could be a part of that too. Again, this is just, we're just talking. I don't know your life or anything, and so far
Yeah.
be it to me for me to tell what's been going on in your life, but at least as I'm referencing what's going on with my
Yeah, your
life anyway.
experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's definitely been different. And it's probably just, yeah, like I said, it's just probably just a symptom of getting older. But I feel like too, it's hard to talk to your friends and ask for help. You know what I mean? Like at least for me anyway.
It's hard to ask for the help because the expectancy or the ratio of getting let down is so high now compared to actually being able to trust and believe in anyone nowadays.
Yeah.
So like, you got a good friend. Hey, bro, I need help setting this up. Are you available? Yeah. Well, okay. Can you be here at this time at this day? Okay. Day comes by. Oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm over here.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. Like that's like, I don't know, like what if someone comes to me and says, "Hey, can you do this thing for me?" And if I can't do it, I'll let you know if I can't do it. Like like, dude, I'm sorry. Like,
What
I
is
love you.
so
Like,
hard about that one too? What is so hard about that one? So many people have that problem. Um, like I could do it, but I don't know when I would be able to. So give me the information and give me 2 weeks and just keep talking to me. I might have forgotten, but just talk to me again, and either I'll be able to get it done or not, and I'll try it. What is so wrong with people saying yes, no, I could try, but I'm not guaranteeing anything?
I think it might just be that they fear disappointing their friends. I think at the outset, like they much rather, maybe they can do it. Maybe they're like, hey, maybe I will be able to do it. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I've never been like that. If I couldn't make a destination for whatever reason, I'd let you know.
I know. It's so weird. It's so weird because I'm putting this into like how with like Apex people, I've met some people we would like destroy and go in, and our goal is to actually be getting to masters, and then as soon as we hit diamond, everyone just disappears. They don't really contact. You try to contact them, they're not available. It's just like, can someone just shoot me now, please? Because then I put aside time to like do this stuff, and then when they don't show up or contact me or anything, I have to find replacements or going solo. But once you're in diamond and you go solo, it's damn near impossible. And I'm not at that pro level where I could do it. I need to learn more, but I know I could if I had a team. It's just so many people just flake out or disappear or just backstab you, or so many things. I don't understand why people do that.
In life, man, it's hard to find a good teammate. I mean, it's like, I know you're married, and like, how hard was it to find a teammate that you said that you guys had the same wavelength enough to get married
That one
and to
was
stay
easy.
married?
That one was actually easy, surprisingly, because I met her in high school.
Oh, okay.
And she went to college, and she came back, and we hung out for a while, and then we just stayed together ever since.
Okay, well, you are the exception.
I
to
lucked
the rule.
out. I lucked out on that
out.
one. But I understand with just trying to find people that are just reliable and not just stuck in their own head. And it's just so, I don't understand why not everyone can actually help each other or say they're going to do something and not do it. I never understood that. I got people at my job that I can't stand. That I literally on Saturday was like, okay, I'll give the full story from the beginning. I got to work, and we were breaking up routes because we're short staffed. So on the other routes, we were just doing the DPS and we're casing that and sending out the parcels to deliver, not the mail, because we didn't have enough people to handle it.
Mhm.
So just the parcels. So I put every single different street in totes. So like you pick up the tote, you see the street. Oh, that's this street. Okay, what's the next street I drove down? Okay, it's this tote. Okay, I set up the packages in order. The guy went up to another worker, said it was stupid. Whatever he did was stupid. I even explained it to him. I said, hey, I did this. Everything's here. This is how it's laid out. He didn't say anything to me, but he said something to his coworker, and she's like, he said that was stupid, and I think that's stupid. I'm like, I don't think it's stupid because it works for me and it works for almost everyone else here. And for this is in front of everybody. And I was like, well, I mean, if he's got a problem with it, I showed him, I explained to him what I did. He could have said something, I would have fixed it with no problem. But he wants to call me stupid. I mean, that's fine. I'll just put a baby bottle on his table next time he comes in, so he can have like his pacifying like nighttime milk drink.
Wow, shots fired.
Then right after that, I'm like, hey, Erica, could you buy little balls and put them on every single individual face masks that you have? So when someone puts them on, there's a ball there. Everyone's looking at me like, the fuck? And those two people were about to snap. And I said, are we done? They went, yeah. I'm like, good. Because they know not to fuck with me. They don't. Because I will just, I'll lay it into them in a like way where it's just like, they didn't attack me. And he was going to give me a gift. But he's telling me that he wants me to shut up without telling me he wants me to shut up. You can't do anything with that. It's great. Can't even go to HR with that because there's implications, but there's no actual attack.
Hey, dude, I've had so many bad issues with HR in just whatever job that I'm in. It's like, you know what's funny is like dealing with HR at work. I watched that show, The Office, and I'm like, I get it. I totally get it.
Dude, I swear I'm working with a whole bunch of high schoolers that just want to talk drama and shit about each other, be friends in their face, and then once they're gone, talk so much shit about them. I'm that person that will talk shit about you to your face and talk nice things to your face. I got a coworker. I love the guy. I could talk to him about anything for hours, right? But when he comes to the job, he sucks at getting the job done. When I was one level below me, I always had to help him out. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking pathetic. You're a lazy piece of fucking shit, and you don't deserve this job. You need to pick it up because I am tired of helping you. And then the next day, hey, did you watch that anime? Like, yeah, bro. Like, but he thinks the same way. He's like, I just tell you how it is. Like, it's just, I'd rather have people be like that to me and talk, but it's just, oh my God, people, I can't stand people anymore. You're awesome though. You're awesome. Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. I can't remember it.
Well, actually, I only got like 10 minutes left.
I know.
But I actually did want to talk about original character cosplay.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I believe we touched on it the last time we spoke. And like, first of all, explain what original character cosplay is, because
okay, you know what cosplaying is? Cosplaying is acting out a character that is already created, and you dress the part and you act the part and you just do your thing. Original character is basically you made an original character to cosplays as. So like you make a character up and then you cosplay. You could do whatever you want with that character, like either in videos because TikTok, that's what a lot of people do, is make videos with their OCs, or you could make like a whole story and make them an actual thing. But you're the original creator of it. So whoever made Spider-Man, if they dress up as Spider-Man, they're the original creator of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So this is the best way I could explain.
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect explanation. How did you, like, you and your wife, Blood Vixen? That's how you pronounce the name, right?
Yeah, Blood Vixen. Okay. Yes.
So I read it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I love the stuff because, like, I love how creative it is, and the
that's all her in her head. I just
does she do your makeup as well, or do you do it?
Did you see my most recent video
I
of
keep no.
original? Okay. She usually does it. There was a handful of times where I did like like last year-ish, but the most recent one, yeah, she did all those. Like she did the makeup. I literally laid down, I closed my eyes, and I was on her bed while she was doing the makeup. I dozed off numerous times, but it took like 2 hours for mine to get done. Just the makeup.
That's commitment, man. But it looks so
Oh
good.
yeah.
It
Oh my
looks
god,
so
she's
good.
so good at it. She's so good at it now.
Yeah, her videos are great, and they're funny, and they're like just. How do you guys do? This is a weird question. Like, how do? Because I've seen plenty of TikToks where the frame rate is sped up, but not really. Do you record it slow?
Times two, times
okay,
two,
times two.
times
Okay,
three.
that's what I was assuming.
So basically, like when you see us and we're moving like this and whatever, but when we're recording it, if it's in times two, we're moving like this.
Really slow.
We're moving slow. And then once it plays on the TikTok, and because those times two or times three, your movements are more crisp.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's weird and cool.
Yeah, it is so crisp, and you can't go too fast. You can't go fast like that, or it's just gonna look so fucked up and weird. Yeah. Not normal. It's hard to act normal between times two and times three. Times three, like the last recording session was the first time I ever used times three because I'm horrible at lip syncing. So she had me do the Witcher song.
Ah, yes. Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Not that one.
Which one?
Second season one. The second season.
Okay.
Where he's in the bar and all pissed off. I hate him. Yeah.
That's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Toss a coin to your Witcher. Yes. It's so good though. We're both good, but like she chose that and I was able to hear it. But once it's playing at times three, it's so weird sounding, but the words come out Don't ask. It's
I think it's really. I honestly think it's really cool that you and your wife do that together. Like that's really cool. And it just seems that you guys are really close. You know, just by doing that. I think that's just a cool little aside. You know. How did you guys start? How did you start doing? Did you?
I did content creation. I started doing Twitch and YouTube. I listened to some how to grow things from I forgot what his name is, but he's pretty popular. Anyway, he talked about TikTok and the findability, so I tried it, didn't know what the hell I was doing. She downloaded it because I had one and then made a video, and somehow that video blew up, and it was just a 10 countdown from 10 to 1, and she put a whole bunch of pictures of her on there, and somehow it blew up a little bit. So she made another one, blew up a little bit, made another one. It's kind of like had viral growth.
Was it her in her original cosplay?
First one, no, but there was a couple pictures in there where she had that were kind of like cosplay-esque. But it was just photo shoots that a buddy did and helped out. And just like it was interesting. But then she was doing it and having fun. I'm like, fuck it, why don't I do it too? I mean, it'll help me meet new people, grow a little bit, and yeah. Like we want to do it more, but she has a lot of body problems, like physical incapabilities, and then she also has severe depression and anxiety. So like she could have a moment where she wants to do it, and then I'll know her no. So like with me, I plan everything out, and with her, I can't plan anything out because like I'll plan something, and then it's like, oh crap, I already have this, and you want to do this right now, like shit. So, but if like I want to do more, but it's just like it is what it is. But like at the same point, like when she creates, it's like she's so good at it. And this time when we were recording, we did things that we could when I was recording with her last year that like would took us forever to do. And this was just very smooth on how she was doing it. She wasn't used to two people in there anymore, but at the same point, it went really good. It went really well.
It's sort of like, well, it's I just had the picture of like you like to plan things out, but she does it when I just had a picture. I had a picture in my mind like that lightning bolt hits. And this is how I describe like inspiration and how you can just ride that. Oh
no. She doesn't have, it's not the inspiration. It's like she will literally listen to a song and save the song and have that idea in her head until she records. It's just when she's able to, it's so random.
Understood.
But what you're saying is like, that's me with the creativity.
Okay.
I'll be at work with some random ideas and I'm like, how do I put this into like, how do I
put this into
yeah. And then I can't, when I get home, I can't even think about it. Like, it's like totally gone, even though I wrote it down. Yeah.
So wait, for your original character, did you have a story, or are you not that kind of
The wife. That's
okay.
all the wife. Like,
what's the story?
Oh, I don't know. What she makes up. I really don't know. That's honestly like the OC thing. I love doing it, but it's like the whole character development and all that stuff. That's not really me. That's kind of like her thing. And like, I leave that to her because like,
okay,
she's the one who actually created the character. It's just I'm putting it on. But when it comes to the show, like what's weird is like, I don't know what's going on until that moment. And that's how I work best. Because when she tells me things, I'm just like, you know how like when someone's explaining to you like how something goes in a movie or something, I'll be there and listening. But when she's explaining to me, oh, you're going to be doing this to this song and this, I'm just like, I'm like, what? Because my brain just doesn't remember. Like what's fucked up is that
it's typical husband behavior. We
no, that's just me though. But that's not the wrong thing. Is like, you're correct, yes. But that's honestly just who I am. I can't remember certain things like for some reason. I can't even remember my childhood except for a few things like games. Like I don't remember really much of anything. I remember getting picked on in school a lot. I remember I hated school and because have you ever played the game Crystalis?
I haven't, but I know of it.
Yeah, the guy's spaceship goes on a planet, tries to save the planet from the evil fucking alien / beings, and you have to get these swords that could power up and then destroy barriers, and you have to gain levels in certain areas just to first progress in some areas. Did you know that there is one area that if you do not gain a level, then go to this location, you will not be able to pass said location?
Wow, that's kind of mean.
It was an RPG, but it was one of those where it's like, what the fuck do you do? Because you're stuck there now because of the events that happen. And then you're walking around, like, what do you do? Then you gain a level, then re-walk around, and it's like, oh, that's how it works. But anyway, like, I was writing this, you know how like we had young authors when we were kids, like writing a book. So I wasn't that creative when I was younger. I couldn't really think of anything. So I was just making that into a thing, right? Like an actual book. So I made it, got 99% done with it. Just needed to do the last boss, like in my head. And the main teacher read it because I couldn't really write well at that point. I was really bad at writing. She was writing it out, well, not the sub, but like the assistant. And about to turn it in, like finishing it up, the other main teacher read it. Said, oh, we can't accept this. It's too violent.
Oh. Yeah.
That was my turning point. I gave up on school, but I still graduated high school. So.
Oh, there you got that. Yeah, well, that's good.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I
never was really there.
I had a similar situation, but with drawings. I would it wasn't I drew a ninja chopping off another ninja's head, and just saying that actually sounds like really creepy, but it was just, I was into comic books at the time. It was like Spawn was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like I was really into Spawn, and just there's a whole bunch of violence in those comics. And so I was just emulating what I was, essentially into at the time. And so they called my parents and they're like, we're really concerned about your son. And I love my parents because my mom was like, he is a gentle soul and he would never hurt a fly. So you're wrong. And let my son, be creative.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God, I love my mother. I love my mom because I remember that conversation with her and the teacher. Like she was pissed. She was pissed.
Like, so what if your imagination is running wild because like you're having an adventure in your own head? I never understood like that whole stigma in schools, but that's why I brought my son to a private school. And I'm pretty much broke for it.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And on that note, next time with Wisedrum, we're going to we have no clue yet.
Yeah, we have no clue. But hey, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to be on my podcast, man. I really appreciate it, and hanging out and talking and whatnot. You can find him on Twitch, everybody, twitch.tv/FinalHarps. Also, follow him on YouTube.
All you gotta do is type in FinalHarps and you'll find a list, a whole bunch of stuff that I've done, or it's anywhere on Google. And you'll be like, wait, he's done guides for TikTok? What?
That's
wait,
right.
what? Yeah, like everywhere. I remember you said you were like, I watched one of your videos one time. Was that you, like on the TikTok guys or some shit?
What do you mean?
Like you watched one of my videos on how to do on TikTok?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You didn't realize it was me at the time or some shit?
I maybe. I can't remember.
I've had that happen. I've been rated because I
yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I read yes, it was you, because I was trying to figure out about the sound. I was trying to figure out the sound thing, so that I didn't realize it was you. And
then I randomly follow you, like, who is this guy? This guy's doing cool retro video games and drumming to it. Let's go.
So that's how we met, everybody. Yep. That's how we met.
Yep. Welcome to TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok does not make
all
any
sorts
sense.
Of crazy, awesome people. Here we are.
Oh yeah.
All right, dude. Well, you have a wonderful night, sir. Everyone, take care. Be safe. All that jazz.